Well, we have some really exciting news to share with you guys. I've been keeping this under wraps. It has been really difficult, but now I can finally share with you guys that I am pregnant with baby number 5. It still feels really weird to say, to be honest. I never imagined myself being pregnant again. I just really did not think that it was in the cards for us, but the Lord had other plans for us. And it has been such a fun surprise. It was very shocking at first. I'm not even gonna lie. I was very shocked. And it was an adjustment of mindset, because I had given away all of my maternity stuff, all of my baby stuff. The only thing I still have is a pack and play and a little booster seat. Like, that is all the baby stuff we have. It took me several years to really mourn the fact that I was done having kids and that I was past the baby phase. And it was really hard on me emotionally. And I feel like I was finally coming out of that and being like, okay, Lord, I'm going to just embrace the season that you have me in, even though there's no babies. And I'm just going to embrace having the bigger kids, and it's going to be great. And now we're pregnant again. So it was quite the surprise, but we are so excited. We actually already know the gender, so maybe I'll share that video with you at the very end of how we told the kids the gender. Actually, we all found out together. Zach and I did not know the gender either. Only my friend knew. I had taken a blood test at 6 weeks, the sneak peek blood test, and I sent it to my friend, and she made the balloon with the either pink or blue confetti inside, and we let the kids pop it and find out what they were having. Michael was very confused because he thought that the baby was inside the balloon, so his little face is so hilarious. He was like looking everywhere. He was like, where is the baby? So that is a fun video. I'm going to share that at the very end of this, so stay tuned for that. But I did write down some notes in my phone of kind of some symptoms that I've had since the beginning, in case you're interested in that kind of thing. Some of you guys are probably not, but I did write them down, and I was going to share them with you guys. So I am 37, guys, and I can already tell this pregnancy is a little bit harder than any of the other ones. I only had morning sickness with one of my kids. I was a little nauseous with all of them, but it was nothing bad at all. With my second child, I had pretty bad nausea, but I never threw up, but I've had that with this one too. I've had pretty consistent nausea. The hard part is I'm nauseous when I'm hungry, but then once I eat, about 30 minutes after that, I'm really nauseous. So it's kind of hard because I'm hungry and I don't want to be nauseous because I'm hungry, but then I know if I eat, then I'm going to be more nauseous. So that has been really challenging. I found out at week 4. And a funny thing is, I kind of had a feeling that I might be pregnant because I remember I wanted to go eat Mexican one night. And we really don't eat out much, but I was like, can we please ask my husband, can we please just treat everybody and let's just go to get Mexican? Because it's one of the cheaper places we can eat as a family, and it just sounded so good. And I remember like being so excited, like more than ever, to go to a restaurant. And I remember every bite was like the first time I'd ever had Mexican. It was just like the most amazing food experience. And you guys know when you're pregnant, food just hits different. Like, everything tastes just so amazing, or it doesn't. But this food just absolutely tasted like heaven. And I remember thinking like, this sure does feel like when you're pregnant and you're eating something. I remember thinking that, but then I was like, but I'm not, I was definitely not even thinking that at all. And I do remember having some cramping, but it was also right before my cycle. So I was like, well, that's normal. And I was tired. I had some little stomach issues, but also that's kind of common right before I start my period. So I didn't really think anything of it. I did have like major hot flashes, but that is also something that sometimes I will do right before I get my cycle. So again, that wasn't really like a red flag, but I did notice a heightened sense of smell, which I always have right at the very beginning of my pregnancies, as I can just smell everything so strongly. So those were my week 4 symptoms. And then week 5 was the week that we were taking pictures to list our house. So that week was so stressful, and I remember being just so exhausted. I was taking naps like every single day. And I also turned 37 that week, which was another like, oh my goodness moment. And I was extremely hungry. Like every 2 hours, I was like desperate for food. So I was eating a lot, also kind of nauseous some, but not terrible. The nausea didn't really start too bad until week 6. I also remember that week having like intense brain fog. And I don't usually experience this. I was trying to get this house ready for pictures, and I remember like just walking to one room and totally forgetting what I was there for. And this wasn't like just once, like it was like constant every few minutes. I could not get anything done. I felt like I was just running around like a chicken with his head cut off. And I finally just looked at my husband. I'm like, you have to tell me what to do, because I can't do this. I don't know what I'm doing. And it was like the first time in my life that I've ever experienced that. And it was so intense and so weird. But thankfully that did not last long. But I really wish that it wasn't the week that we were getting pictures made of our house, because it made it really challenging. So week 6 started intense night sweats and like hot flashes. I mean, it was so bad, and I'm still experiencing this. Like I am getting so hot. And this is something I did with all of my pregnancies, but I feel like it's worse this time around. But I have just been getting so hot, like living my life in front of a fan basically. And at night I'll just have to take different pieces of clothing off until I can finally get some relief. And that has been challenging, especially as the temperatures are warming up here. It's harder for me to cool down. So I'm thankful that we were moving to a cooler climate. That is one really exciting thing. I also caught a really bad cold during week 6, and that was rough because I had all of this drainage and I was stopped up, and it was mainly like up in my head. I ended up getting a chiropractor adjustment, and that helped so much kind of move things down. So I highly recommend that. And that's another thing I've been doing since the minute I found out that I was pregnant. I have been getting in with my chiropractor weekly. So I had something with my last pregnancy, and I can't remember if I had it with the one before that. I don't think I did as bad, but I had something called pelvic girdle pain. It's basically a pain like right in the front of your hip, where it made it super painful for me to stand on one leg. So walking was difficult, putting pants on was like excruciating. And I did not want to go through that again. And I did some research, and everything I read was pointing to chiropractic care was a great way to kind of keep that at bay. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm going to keep doing chiropractic care for my entire pregnancy if I can. I need to find somewhere where we're moving. But if I can, I'm going to keep doing that, because I really think that's going to help with that pelvic girdle pain. So week 6, week 7, I was continuing to be nauseous. After I ate anything, I was just really exhausted. Week 7 is when I ended up traveling to Ohio, and that was a pretty good trip. I didn't have a whole lot of nausea on that trip, but it was a little bit challenging because a lot of the people that I was around didn't know I was pregnant, and so I would have these like waves of nausea and just have to like, smile through it, and that was a little bit challenging. The nausea I noticed was especially bad in the evenings, not in the mornings. And week 7 was my worst week of nausea of all the weeks for sure. I think week 8 was pretty bad too, but 7 and 8 were really rough. And in week 7, I actually started feeling a little bit of a bump pop out. I feel like it happens faster with every pregnancy. And then week 8, I definitely had less nausea, but it was still kind of bad. And then week 9, the nausea subsided. That was last week. The nausea, I'm 10 weeks now. The nausea subsided, I would say about 80%. Week 8 was when we were traveling in Pennsylvania, guys, and that was really challenging because we were going through a lot of curvy roads. And I remember telling my husband, I'm like, this is so bad. It was like, because I've never had car sickness, but the nausea on top of the windy roads was making the nausea even worse. So that was quite the challenge. That trip I was not feeling very well at all, which is why in that video I was not in front of the camera a lot, because I just was not feeling good. Then week 9, the nausea subsided. I was a lot more tired that week, and I needed like a nap at like 10 a.m. I remember telling the kids, I'm like, we're pausing homeschool. Mama's gonna nap and I'll be back with you shortly, but I've got to lay down. So I've just been really tired the last week or two. And also we've just had a lot going on. We were traveling to Pennsylvania. We were getting this house ready for renting it for masters, and we were trying to put in offers on houses in Pennsylvania. It's just been a lot emotionally, physically. So I know that plays into it too, but then I also have had extreme mood swings this week for sure. I have just been crying a lot, and it's also because, there's a lot going on in my life right now too, but then I think pregnancy hormones just kind of make it more intense. But overall, guys, I have had it really good, and I have felt really good, And other than the nausea, that has been the worst part. But I mean, I have friends who are just like completely debilitated on the floor, like live by the toilet when they're pregnant. And I'm just so thankful that I haven't had to deal with any of that. So even though I've had nausea and fatigue, I'm counting my blessings, because I know a lot of people have it way worse than me. So I'm excited to share this journey with you guys. I knew I had to post this video because I was starting to show. And I'm like, I think in the next couple of videos, if I don't announce it, you're gonna probably notice and say something anyways. So I thought I would share it with you guys. I am 10 weeks now, but when you see this video, I think I'll be closer to 12 weeks. So that gives you some reference as far as where I am. I think the due date will probably be, still have not gone to the doctor yet, but I actually have had an ultrasound. One of my good friends is an ultrasound tech and has her own machine. So she did an ultrasound for me. Maybe I'll put a little picture here. So I have actually seen the baby, but I haven't gone to my OB appointment yet, but that will be next week. And I'm thinking, I always know exactly the start of my cycles. So I know for sure that it's going to be at the very end of October, if not the beginning of November, because sometimes I go late with my pregnancies. All of them have been early except for one, but we'll see. So thank you guys so much for joining me today and sharing in this sweet, happy news. I'm gonna share next how the kids responded when we told them, and then the gender reveal. They were really excited. They were shocked. My husband was shocked when he found out, but also he was just took it so well, and he was just such a rock, and he just comforted me when I was just kind of like freaking out, like I don't know how we're gonna do this, we're moving, like what is gonna happen. And he was just so sweet about it and just encouraging, and he's just been my rock through it all, helping me so much right now when I need to rest, and he's just been amazing. So let me share with you guys next about the kids' response. It was so fun.
Clue number 1, start here. Today's a special day, a secret in store. Follow the clues. There's fun galore. Your first clue hides where you lay your head. Go look now under the bed. What bed? It's not our bed, because
Under
you
the bed.
My bed?
Gabe, let Landon find it.
Okay. I'm not gonna tell him.
Look under the placemats.
You're so close, just a little more. Look where we walk in and out the door.
You're not looking for a clue this time. Oh, a puzzle. Ooh, y'all come into the living room. It's a puzzle.
Ooh.
It's got another clue on it.
What's it say? Another baby? Seriously? You're kidding. What?
We are having another baby.
Seriously?
Mama, let me look in your bed.
You can't see anything yet. I got a baby in there. You gonna be a big brother.
I hope it's a boy. What?
All right, you ready to find out if it's a boy or girl?
3,
2, 1, go. Woo!
Michael, where's the baby? Michael,
Well, we're having a boy. That was so much fun to get to do that with the kids. We are gonna have 4 boys and a girl now. My daughter was a little bit disappointed. I think she really wanted a sister, but she loves her baby brother right now, Michael. They are like the best of friends. And so when she started thinking about that and how much fun it's been with him, I think she has now come to terms with it and is excited about it. And so everyone is overjoyed, and we can't wait to welcome this sweet little life that the Lord has brought us. Every baby is always a blessing, and we are really excited. So thank you for joining in this joy with us, and I will keep you posted with pregnancy updates as we go along. And I will see you back here next week, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye, friends.